Hello guys. Today we'll talk about Next.js versus Angular. Choosing your framework for 2025. Okay, what is the best in 2025? Uh, just check feature. Just on here feature Next.js and Angular. Okay, on here the type React. Next.js is based on React Meta framework and Angular based on full flag framework. Okay. Then we'll talk about language. Language Next.js support JavaScript and TypeScript both, but Angular support only TypeScript. Okay. Rendering. We'll talk about rendering. Rendering on here Next.js support SSR, SSG, ISR, and CSR. Server side rendering, static site generation, uh, and and client side rendering, but Angular support client side rendering and static side server side rendering will support Angular. Okay. Popularity wise, will Angular Next.js support a startup and Jamstack, but Angular is strong in enterprise. Learning curve. We'll talk about learning curve. This is moderate. Okay, and Angular is steep. This support RGS, DI, etc. Okay, we'll talk about performance and rendering. In respect of SSR and SSG, this is built-in optimized, but in Angular is universal. Hydration, this is partial hydration in Next.js, but Angular is full hydration. Client performance, this is a fast, Next.js is fast, but Angular is heavily initial load, will take time to load. Okay, but Next.js is fast. Okay, we'll talk about architecture and ecosystem. Uh, Routing, we'll talk about routing. This is a file-based routing on here, config-based routing. State management is supported based on the Redux stand, but Angular support NGRX, Signal, and RSGS. Okay, and built-in feature. This is minimal feature on here, but on here full toolkit support in Angular. Okay. Macro frontend. This is easy with module federation Next.js, but Angular supported by module federation. Okay. Easy but supported. Okay. And we'll talk about developer experience. Uh, Tooling. This is support tooling. Next.js support ESLint, TurboPack, and Vercel. Okay. But Angular support Angular CLI strong ID support. Okay. Modularity is high composable Next.js and Angular module by ng module. Okay. Testing. This is manual testing using by the Jest, but Angular built in with Jasmine and Karma. Okay. Community. We'll talk about community. Huge React ecosystem. Okay. But Angular is mature enterprise support. I will talk about use case scenario. When use in which case use Next.js, in which case use Angular. Okay. Then we will talk about if you need SEO site, then best is Next.js. Enterprise dashboard, then best is Angular. E-commerce storefront, best is Next.js. Banking and finance app, this is then best is Angular. Okay. And we'll talk about deployment and hosting. Hosting support Next.js, Vercel, Net, Netlify, and AWS. Angular, Firebase, AWS, and NST host we can do. Okay. CI/CD easy with Vercel and GitHub, but Angular do Angular CLI and custom setup you can do in Angular. Okay. And we will talk about 2025 trends. Intense server components. Stable. Next.js is stable, but Angular is not stable. Okay. And edge function, native support by Vercel, and this is a custom setup in Angular. Okay. React server action supported, but in Angular not supported. A signal in Next.js is not supported, not available, but in Angular is available after Angular 17 plus. Okay. So then we can decide on here what is the best. When to choose. Choose Next.js if you will SSR, SSG, and SEO performance. Okay. You like REST and module flexibility. You will building content focus on hybrid app. And when to use Angular, you are building complex enterprise grade apps. Your team prefer strong typing and structure, and you want out of box tool and integration. Okay, then you guys understand what is the difference in what is the best uh, uh, Next.js and Angular. Thanks for watching. Thanks. Okay, bye.